Cam Rising stuff last year with Utah? 3 months of pretending he was questionable with a torn ACL? Ridiculous.
It's a lot of gray right now when it comes to this stuff, and we really are. When people say we're in like the second or third inning of sports betting, that's why I agree, because there's so many of those situations that are very, very difficult to explain to a novice.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
You got to get more athletic and better defensively, right? You got to get better shooting. And if you can do those two things and hope that Darvingham takes the next step, if you bring him back, they can be better. But if you don't do that, you must more than anything the Lakers, you must get rid of Rob Pelinka and get a better basketball guy.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live. Prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
SportsRage late
sort
night.
of has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on sports.
Let's roll. This is Sports Rage. I am Gabriel Morency, the pimps, the players, the hustlers, the people that bust them, and everybody else in between. Let's do this thing. We've got a stacked show tonight, the Twisted Tuesday. The Big E, Eric Cohen, throws it down with us. Mr. Sean Higgs in the house tonight. The Ranger Redhead, Cam Stewart. Andrew McInnes will be batting leadoff. We'll be talking pucks, NBA basketball. We've got overtime games. We've got game one going on right now. In Oklahoma City is the Dallas Mavericks and the Dallas Stars are both in action at the same time right now. That's sort of a theme. There's a couple of cities that have a couple of teams still playing right now, including Dallas. So let's start off in the association, the Dallas Mavericks and the Oklahoma City Thunder. It's late in the first quarter. It's been a lower scoring game so far, 21-20 right now for the Dallas Mavericks. With a minute remaining in the first quarter of play, the game. The point spread closed at 4. Oklahoma City are currently 4.5-point favorites right now. The total is 210.5. The other Dallas team gets the Colorado Avalanche. They both have their hands full. The Colorado Avalanche and the Dallas Stars have played 8 minutes, and the Dallas Stars have just broken through. As I'm waiting to confirm. You know what? We don't want to jump the gun here, as the Dallas Stars have just scored, and it is officially 1-0 right now. And it was a scoreless game, right? Like a lot of people expected this to be a high-scoring series, high-scoring games because of Colorado's style of play and because their goaltending can be questionable at times. I thought that the 6.5, I thought, you know what? They're going to be hell-bent on not getting into track meets. Like both teams. Coaches are going to have a heart attack in the playoffs playing 7-6 games, right? And I think it was more of a byproduct of Winnipeg as well, kind of just falling apart. But we have our first goal of the game. The Dallas Stars have taken a 1-0 lead. We're on the Dallas Stars in this game. So the Stars have taken a 1-0 lead. Meanwhile, the Hurricanes and the Rangers at MSG, and MSG's been banging, man, for the last couple of weeks. They're another one of the cities with multiple teams rocking, and the Knicks, they both keep winning. And in fact, the Rangers haven't lost yet, right? The Rangers haven't lost, and the Knicks can't lose because the Knicks have the officials on their side. And I know New York Knicks fans are tired of hearing about it and stuff like that, but I'm sure you would feel the same way, right? Like if all these calls were going against you. And, come on. At this point, like it's hard to think otherwise. And I'm not the only one that thinks this. Keyshawn Johnson, NFL Super Bowl champion Keyshawn Johnson, came out and said, we all know that they want the Knicks to win. Stan Van Gundy was like embarrassed by the call last night. Jason Williams, same thing, embarrassment, bad for the league. You want to let him play, but I don't know. Not everything is a conspiracy. I used to be a bigger conspiracy theorist when I was younger. I'll be honest. I used to think everything was a lie and everything was, and nothing was real. and I used to even tell people everything is a lie. No, that's not true. No, whatever they say, it's not true. But as I've gotten older, I don't believe in conspiracies as much anymore because as I've gotten older, I realize how actually stupid people really truthfully are. And you have to be smart to pull off a conspiracy, right? You have to be pretty slick. So I don't know, is anyone even smart enough to pull off anything nowadays? Right? Maybe it's sheer incompetence. But we'll get into this tonight. But I don't think it's sheer incompetence. I think the NBA is the one league. Although I will say, I think Major League Baseball is right there with them. Right? Each league is different. It's always going to be different scenarios. But the NHL isn't really a personal league. You know what I mean? The referees, they're not calling penalties because they don't like you. Right? They can't really do it. They won't do it. And I know Tim Peel did it and he ended up getting kicked out of the league for it. Right? When the dude on the Predators asked him, what did you call a penalty on me for? And he goes, because I felt like it. Well, that's the problem. And listen, I'm not saying that there's not dynamics and stuff like that, and I do maintain that the NHL referees are the best at what they do. Out of all the four pro sports, I think they're the best in the business, and that's an interesting conversation in its own right. But the NBA, the officials, like I said, I don't think Adam Silver's telling them, make sure the Pacers don't win. Maybe they got caught up in the Garden. Maybe they got caught up with the home crowd. Maybe they don't like Carlisle. Right? There's these little dynamics and stuff, but I think the NBA is the most personal, which that's why you sort of question things because anybody that really knows the true stories behind the scenes about how personal it actually is with referees in the NBA, that's why Nick Nurse didn't get the calls. So I don't think, the fix was in. They wanted the Sixers to lose. I don't think they like Nick Nurse. I know they don't like Nick Nurse. He was a longtime coach of the Toronto Raptors. Raptors never got a call. And not only did they not get calls, the other teams would get calls. And you saw it with the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, the league admitted after, he should have got a timeout. He called timeout. Well, the referees ignored him. Why was that? Was it because they love New York? Is it because they don't like Nick Nurse? Right? So there's reasons. There's not always they want New York to win because of television ratings. Although they do want New York to win because of television ratings. Although they do. We all know the deal, man, right? They bring in the hitman ref, this ref and that ref, and the Dallas Stars have just scored again. The party has begun in the Big D, 2-0. As the Dallas Stars are doing something the Dallas Cowboys can't do, winning the playoffs. I got to save that for Kurtz. When's Kurtz on? Tomorrow night? so that's what's going on now. So we got the overtime coming up here. Rangers and Canes, you can't top that. Overtime at the Garden, the Rangers potentially could take a 2-0 series lead. They just started overtime a couple of minutes ago, so we're playing OT there. The Dallas Stars have just taken a 2-0 series lead, 2-0 lead in the game, in game one of the series. It's 25-23 for the Mavericks right now, but the Dodgers and the Marlins, I tweeted out the pick. I talked about it earlier with Carver on the Pharrell show. So the Dodgers, we know we're taking the Dodgers tonight to beat the Marlins, but Yamamoto's on the hill. So we played a same-game parlay, Yamamoto to record the win, and Yamamoto over 6.5 strikeouts. He's gone over, in 4 of his last 6, the 6.5? It's sort of the cutoff. He gets to 7. He could get to 8. I sort of think he's due for like a 10 or 11 type of strikeout performance. He's really starting to get dialed in right now. He's only given up 6 runs in his last 6 starts. So he's hard to hit. The Dodgers are going to win. It's attack games when there's a big favorite. The pitcher to record the win. Because he's going to record the win. They're going to leave him in for 5 innings. Right? He's not one of these like dudes that they have to worry about and get him out after 3 or something like that. So I would expect Yamamoto to get the win, and I think Yamamoto is going to strike out a lot of Marlins tonight. So I went over 6.5 strikeouts, Yamamoto to record the win, plus 210, same game parlay. I know the kids love the same game parlay, so there's a modern play for you. Or you can just lay the 1.5 with the Dodgers, which we're going to do as well. But I do like the pitcher to record the win plays. NFL football, the schedule, normally the schedule comes out in the second Thursday of May, which would be in like 2 days from now. But clearly the schedule is not coming out in 2 days. And I tweeted out earlier today, I said, and I've been poking around, and I heard like, yeah, basically they're a week behind. It'll be next Thursday. So they're beating people to the punch. It's been announced that the NFL schedule will be announced. See, we have announcements of announcements. We have an announcement that the NFL schedule will be announced next Wednesday, which is pretty cool, actually, because you get point spreads popped up for the games. You'll be able to plan your trips for the upcoming year. Never a dull day in paradise. Let's roll.
I just don't want to play for clicks. I want to be involved with a great leading program that's going to develop players. Him leaving Colorado, a shot across the bow at Dion. I don't think Dion cares.
We saw Logan Diggs move on from LSU to Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin. Don't be shocked if you see John Emery potentially maybe at another school, maybe like a Miss State or even maybe like a Texas A&M.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
The only one that can punch him in the nose, in my opinion, is the Knicks. Or those Western teams. What did you think when you saw those odds?
In their path, and it's all about the path, right? Number 1 seed, you should have an easy path. But quite honestly, looking at who they'd have to go through here eventually is kind of laughable. So I get it.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not 1, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
SportsRage
This
late
sort of
night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. We got a lot of stuff going on right now at once. So it's 2-0 for the Dallas Stars, and I don't know why the hell I have it on the Dallas Star game right now when we're at overtime at MSG. But it was intermission. So I tuned over. I got the NBA. I want to get into the NBA game, the Dallas and the Oklahoma City game, but overtime takes precedent, not to mention I have money on the Rangers here, which I'm not like overly in love with throughout the game. Basically, like the Rangers haven't lost yet in the playoffs. Like eventually a puck is not going to go their way. Carolina have been desperate But Carolina are also sort of starting to make some mistakes that could cost them here as well. But we're in overtime. We played 6 minutes. Oftentimes we see guys in overtime, you get that quick goal because the ice is so fast. And that's what happened with the Toronto Maple Leafs, actually, and the Boston Bruins. The ice is so fast that if it doesn't bounce your way, it's hard to catch up. Right? Like if the ice is slower, like I heard people talk about it and they were right. They said if that play with the Leafs and the Bruins in overtime happened 3 or 4 minutes later in the period, it wouldn't have happened because the puck wouldn't have moved so fast. But we all know that, right? Fast ice is like lethal and you're scared as hell in the first couple of minutes of overtime. With fast ice, you don't know what's going to happen. You see the ice is starting to slow down at the Garden right now. Let's bring in McInnes. And McInnes and Stewart, it sounds like a law firm. McInnes and Stewart. What's going on, McInnes? How you doing?
I like that. What's up, guys? Good to be here with you. Just enjoying these games. Hoping for got a lot of props. I got more props than I can handle in the Colorado Dallas game. So I have no side or total, but just a load of props. So looking forward to watching that game.
More props than Carrot Top. So the Rangers, although it's pretty weak not to have like a pick on a side or a total, I have to say, but we'll get to that in a minute. The Rangers and the Canes. Well, I'm just saying.
I got lots too. I got picks.
Well, I'm just saying I don't want to call them out, but if I'm signing up to a service here, I want to pick for a big hockey game.
Yes. I'm right.
See, it's the kids. They're all about the props, man. It's all good.
Yep.
You're living in a modern world. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I'm an old man.
So, people, like there was a Monday Night Football game earlier this year, and there was more money on Travis Kelce to score a touchdown than there was on the side or total. Like more people bet on the Kelce touchdown than they did the Chiefs, the under, the over, the Chargers, or whatever it was. That's a crazy, like, that's unheard of from years ago, which sports books, like, not all books even had props, McInnes.
See,
like
Gabe,
online
I don't know if it's a
did,
good thing,
but like Vegas didn't. Only up to a couple of years ago, Vegas started to add more player. Even now, they're antiquated, right? Like they'll have for certain games, but the prop market is a burgeoning one right now, no doubt. Continues to get bigger too.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but the fact is for me and my style, I don't have a prop for every game. Like there's some people these days, like any game they're involved in, they got to bet a home run, first base, second base, this guy to score a goal. For me, it's more like I thought we're going to see goals in game 1, Dallas, Colorado. Didn't know who all the goals were going to come from. So pick some player props. Like that's to me is like, I like the over. But if I like the over, I think I'd have better value. Like you've got some people that are betting props no matter what game they're involved in. The good news for me is I actually enjoy sports. I don't need to have 25 picks on a game to enjoy the game. But for this game in Dallas and 5-3 result, which is a good prop game. And for Carolina, I will tell you, I bet the series plus 120 for the Canes when the New York Rangers went up 1-0 in the series. Tonight, I also put a little sprinkle on the power play merchants under 2.5 team total, but unfortunately they got their power play and then they scored their third goal of the game. So I did lose that one. I wish I could bet the Rangers under 2.5 5-on-5 goals because we all know how well that would go.
Teams that win game 1 of 7-game series in the NHL, if you win game 1 at home, you win 75% of the time the series.
It's amazing.
So the Rangers, like they're putting themselves in a pretty good spot. Like I'd be concerned, like this, is it a must-win, Cam, for the Canes now? I guess not. When you consider they got 2 home games coming up after this, right? You say, well, the series doesn't start until a road team wins. Mm-hmm. But the Rangers are a juggernaut right now. This is, if you're the Canes, I'd be worried, McInnes, about my series bet if the Canes don't win this hockey game right now. Because it's going to get in their heads. And, the Rangers are going to be hard to beat. To beat them 4 out of the next 5 games. It's going to be a tough spot to put yourself in. But the Canes are going on a power play right now in overtime. Trouba going to the box.
That's funny. I just I just took shots at the Rangers for scoring all these power play goals. But Trouba, you know what, guys? He's the captain of the team. He's supposed to be the captain. I know he makes some hard hits and makes some big plays, but the funny thing is, all of his penalties during the playoffs have been like tripping and like hooking, holding. It's not even like he's going and crushing someone and getting called. These are just actually stupid penalties for a leader to take. So kind of funny, the team that I make fun of for getting all the power plays is going to the box.
We've seen that a lot, though. Carolina did some stupid stuff where it was like, why would you do that? Vancouver normally once or twice a game, JT Miller or Besser they'll just randomly slash somebody or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, or they won't like getting hit and they're going to trip the guy after. It's like, dude, like, why they're going to call that. Why did you do that? Right? Like you see it, McKinnis, even though it's the playoffs, players get emotionally, mentally tired, fatigued a bit. They get upset, they're angry, they're on edge, and they're getting dehydrated and all that type of stuff. So they're not thinking clearly sometimes. Look at earlier tonight, guys, in the game when they ran the goalie, when they ran Shesterkin early in this hockey game. And Fox on the Rangers swung his stick like an effing madman. Like if he would have connected, like it would have been a massive incident. Like if he would have connected and hit the dude in the face, it would have been like a Marty McSorley times 100. But I'm always fascinated by this guys in hockey. It's the most ridiculous thing ever. But he swings his stick like a baseball bat as hard as he can. But since he missed, it's no penalty. Exactly.
I just don't want to play for clicks. I want to be involved with a great leading program that's going to develop players. Him leaving Colorado, a shot across the bow at Dion. I don't think Dion cares.
We saw Logan Diggs move on from LSU to Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin. Don't be shocked if you see John Emery potentially maybe at another school, maybe like a Miss State or even maybe like a Texas A&M.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
The only one that can punch him in the nose, in my opinion, is the Knicks. Or those Western teams. What did you think when you saw those odds?
In their path, and it's all about the path, right? Number 1 seed, you should have an easy path. But quite honestly, looking at who they'd have to go through here eventually is kind of laughable. So I get it.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not 1, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
SportsRage late
sort
night.
of has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I'm Gabriel Morency. So I talked about fatigue settling in and stuff. The Carolina Hurricanes have 101 shot attempts in this hockey game now. 101 shot attempts. You know how draining that is, McKinnis? Like to shoot, like, dude, the Canucks had 84 shot attempts in one game against Nashville earlier. And they talked about after, like, they needed a break. Like, basically. Like, they were like, oh, it was exhausting. Like, they were like, all we did was just shoot. And it's not like, you know what I mean? It takes energy. Like, these guys are like blasting pucks, and it's life and death in the playoffs. Like the goaltending, unbelievable, Shesterkin. Like if they pull this out, this is going to go down as one of those New York Classic moments at the Garden, and solo, personal, individual performances per se. He's moving in on 50 saves right now, although I don't want to mush him. He's at 48. You got 48 saves, guys. And think about that, too. Think of all the blocked shots the Rangers have. 101 shot attempts, 48 of them have gotten through. You've had some missed goals. That's why I say this will be extremely deflating if you're Carolina and you don't bury this. I'm on the Rangers. Cam, you're on the Carolina Hurricanes here.
Yeah.
And McKinnis, who are you on?
I mean, I lost my team total, but I've got Hurricanes plus 120 on the series. So, I mean, if they don't win this game, they're down 2-0. I didn't like the Carolina price to win the series before, so I jumped in on the plus 120 after game one. So I guess you could still say I'm obviously cheering for Carolina.
So 3-3, 9 minutes left in overtime right now. Let's check in with the basketball game. It's 38-33 for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Any action, McKinnis, on the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Maverick game for you?
I laid the points with the Thunder. I mean, I'm a Mavericks fan. I like Luka. I think that the way they play is really fun to watch. But I felt like in this game it was going to be the Thunder getting the job done at home. The way that they play together is so well as a unit. I feel like it's going to be an adjustment for the Mavericks. I think if I cash the tickets tonight on the Thunder, it's going to be one of those types of series where I'll probably come back the next game with the Mavericks. This is going to be very competitive, but every series in its whole is so different matchups wise. We're going to see that in the NHL in the next couple series that we see here, especially tomorrow night with the Oilers. But I think that this is going to be a little bit of a shock for the Mavericks with the style of play the Thunder play. So I laid the points with the favorite tonight.
Well, we always say it's hard for two teams from the same city to win on the same night, and it doesn't look like the Dallas Stars are losing. They're up 3-0 right now. They're starting to take complete control of this game early on the Colorado Avalanche. Yeah, 3-0, Cam. 2 minutes left in the first period of play. Dallas have scored again. The Marlins put an early run up on the board on the Dodgers right now. And I got my eye on the overtime just because it's so good. So, McKinnis, you mentioned the Vancouver Canucks. I don't know why they're even going to bother playing the series. Just advance Edmonton into the semifinals because nobody's giving the Vancouver Canucks a hope in hell of winning this series. And I talked about this last night. I like that, guys. Good, nice job there. The oil rig and the orcas are circling it. We're going to take that rig down, start hitting it, and that's good. You know what I mean? Oil spill.
That price is
you're right, Gabe, though.
It's ridiculous.
All right, hold on. I went over this last night, but I want to name the names. So there's 24 people. There's 24 people, and we have the NHL Network evidently as well. 24 people at ESPN. 23 out of the 24 have picked the Edmonton Oilers to win. 17 people on the NHL Network. 16 of the 17 have picked the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers are doomed. This is the classic doom job. Bucci Gross, Oilers in 6. Cassie Campbell, Oilers in 6. Linda Cohn, Oilers in 7. Ray Ferraro. Really, Ray? Your wife is the assistant general manager of the Vancouver Canucks. Ray Ferraro, Oilers in 6. That's going to go over well at the dinner table.
Pass the cutlery. Yeah, no, that's
I'd be
crazy.
pissed. Like if I was Cammy Granado, I'd be like, you pick it, Ed. Like,
Yes.
what I'd tell him, I'd say, you know what? I voted for Kevin BX as Hockey Analyst of the Year over you, so it's okay.
Find me an example though where any of these votes, we even see like half of them correct. Honestly.
Yeah.
Well, that's why. Yeah, good luck.
I just don't want to play for clicks. I want to be involved with a great leading program that's going to develop players. Him leaving Colorado, a shot across the bow at Dion. I don't think Dion cares.
We saw Logan Diggs move on from LSU to Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin. Don't be shocked if you see John Emery potentially maybe at another school, maybe like a Miss State or even maybe like a Texas A&M.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
The only one that can punch him in the nose, in my opinion, is the Knicks or those Western teams. What did you think when you saw those odds?
In their path, and it's all about the path, right? Number 1 seed, you should have an easy path, but quite honestly, looking at who they'd have to go through here eventually is kind of laughable. So I get it.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not 1, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
SportsRage late
sort of
night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. So we're still in overtime right now. 3-3 at the Garden. The stakes are high, and the profits are high at the Garden as well. Last night, dude, they've had the Knicks and the Rangers basically every second day almost. There's been a game. They both have advanced, and they're just cashing the register, and it's not cheap at MSG for anything. So Dolan is making a lot of money right now. And quite frankly, I think both teams are going to go pretty far, to be honest. I think the Rangers are going to win this series. I think the Rangers are going to win this game eventually in a couple of minutes. And the Pacers, we saw last night, the Pacers are in tough, right? The Knicks are hard to beat at home. You know, we can talk about the refs and all that, but it's a close series, but I expect the Knicks to advance. So I think both New York teams are going to be in the conference finals in a couple of weeks. So we're talking about the Vancouver. What's your pick here, McKinnis? I look forward to it. I just went over 23 of 24 ESPN hockey analyst picked the Edmonton Oilers to win the series. 16 of the 17 on the NHL Network. The one that gets me, though, is Ray Ferraro. Ray Ferraro is married to the assistant general manager / president of the Vancouver Canucks. So even he's picking the Edmonton Oilers. The Vancouver Canuck backers are few and far between, McKinnis. Nobody's putting their name on the Vancouver Canucks. What's your prediction for the series?
Oilers in 6. I think the Oilers win in 6. I think, but here's the thing. I'll preface it with this. I know you're not smiling while I'm saying that, Gabe, but I think that a lot of the games will be close. I think that a lot of the games will be close. Like I think it's not going to be an apt.
What, closer than the time that it was 8-1, you mean?
I love it, Gabe.
Yeah, well, I mean,
if Vancouver wins, just remember these tapes that you got. You got a whole.
Oh no, I know. I remember them all. There's a long list.
I got
of
Oilers in 7. I think it's going to be a tough series. I'm with you, McKinnis. It's going to be tough games.
No, I don't take it personal. I don't take it personal.
So here's what
I just think there's some bad hockey takes out there.
Yeah. And anybody making a case for Vancouver, I don't want to hear about games that were played in November. Right? That to me, that's a lazy handicap because a game that was played in November and October, I mean, you're a whole different person. You're a whole different hockey player. You're a whole different team. You're a whole different coach. Skinner's a whole different goaltender. If we're going to talk about
they're
the
not
Vancouver
different
Canucks,
people. Yeah, the Oilers, I get it. It's a regular season game. It's a little different. They're not different people. Leon Draisaitl isn't suddenly different than he was in November, bro.
You always
Connor
say
McDavid's
that
different
NFL players don't know who they're playing the next week, right? It's the same thing that every week's a new week, right? They're not like, oh, I'm so scared of this game coming up because we lost to this team. I guarantee you the Oilers do not care about the season series. That's all I'm kind of saying here. And I'm sure you agree with me on that.
They actually do, McKinnis.
Right?
Yeah, that's another thing. Thank you, Cam. They played the last Saturday of the regular season. Mm-hmm. Oh, but Connor McDavid didn't play in that game, right? That's what you're going to come back to me with?
They looked they looked good. My whole point is that if you're going
I was going to say no, but I know what you're saying. Let me just say, but they're a completely different team. It didn't matter. They played then, but they played the last regular season game against each other for first place.
Yeah,
and Vancouver beat them. So, were they different people? So the Oilers are different people now than they were on April 13th?
I guess not, but I think there's a different if I was a Vancouver backer, I would be talking about the goaltending, the goals against for the last few games that they had that they won. Yes. The fact that certain guys are stepping up more than others, and it's not just had to be in the top players. The guy that you like, Dakota Joshua playing well, Connor Garland being an agitator, whether he's scoring or not, making an impact. Quinn Hughes, will he jump into the rush? Will the defensive core jump in and help out with the offense for Vancouver? The fact that they were able to come back and win a game, people might not have thought they were going to come back. The fact that they won so many tight-knit games, close games, is that the style the Vancouver Canucks are going to have to play to be successful? If I liked Vancouver in this series, that's what I'd be saying. And I'm going to bet on them in this series. That's for sure. To me, that's the stuff I'd be saying. Look, Gabe, I'm not dismissing anything. I'm not saying anything bad. I don't want any back and forths. The whole thing I was saying is that they've done so many great things. I'm saying the only thing I'm hearing from people that are pro Vancouver is about the season series when they've done so many great things. Besides
that's irrelevant.
You could make a case that the young goalie's better than Skinner. Skinner played the LA Kings, who are inept. Me, you, and Gabe Drunk could play better. Dubois sucks. Let's call it out for what it is. Nashville's a hard-hitting team. They finish checks. They do things well. Vancouver played low-scoring games against these guys, but one time they didn't come back. The bottom line is this, McInnes. I'm with you, bro. I like Edmonton in 7. I don't like them in 4, but I'm going to say this line is disrespectful to the Vancouver Canucks. Minus 270 is just plain stupid. That's my take on the
Cam, whole. I will come out and say this, though. Nashville was the worst team in the Western Conference playoffs. I think they were.
They had the second best record in the NHL.
I think they're better
since the All-Star break after the Edmonton Oilers. If you want to hang your hat on teams being different than they were earlier in the year, the Nashville Predators had the second best record in the NHL in the second half of the season, McInnes.
But Gabe, this is the thing. And I've become a lot more of an analytical guy recently. And the thing is, I said throughout the entire series on my daily show that the Predators are outplaying the Canucks.
If Nashville played the LA Kings, Nashville would beat them in 5 or 6.
I think Nashville.
This is the thing.
I don't believe that Nashville were the worst team in the playoffs.
The Nashville Predators looked so and still didn't put forward the goals. You can look good for 60 minutes, and if you score 2 goals, who cares how good you looked? That was the story of the Nashville Predators. Wow, they're playing so well. They look great out there. They're playing some great hockey. They're dominating play. Who cares if you'd only score 2 or 3 goals? It doesn't matter how good you look out there.
What did the Oilers do against the Kings? They were lucky they hung on against the Kings team that couldn't get the puck in the offensive zone.
It's a bad matchup. Bad matchup for the Kings. Obviously, 4 straight year they played them. 4 straight year they had to play the Oilers. Clearly, it's a bad matchup.
I love this. This is great.
I can't believe
hockey's the best. It gets everyone angry and fired up and blood boiling.
No, but I do agree that the regular season has nothing to do. When they drop the puck tomorrow night, that is totally irrelevant. That is true. But it's not irrelevant in the sense that the number shouldn't be what it is. It's not irrelevant that the Vancouver Canuck players have confidence. You might not think it matters. Tell that to the Vancouver Canuck players. It doesn't matter. that they've beaten them 5 of the last 6 times that they played. Not just the 4, 5 of the last 6. I don't think they're scared of the Edmonton Oilers. I don't think they're losing sleep, right? Like, fans and handicappers aren't on the team. Like, players, I don't think there's anybody on the Vancouver Canucks like that is scared right now of the Edmonton Oilers. I'm not saying they don't respect them, but, you know, this big bad Oiler thing, I mean, where's their success in the playoffs?
You know what? I'll real quick, Gabe, I'll say this, you know, and again, I thought the Predators outplayed the Canucks, but guess what? The Canucks found a way. You got to be able to find a way, right? And the Canucks found a way in a lot of those games. And here's the deal, which is one thing that's very true. The Canucks do have depth and lots of guys that are going to fire shots. And what's one thing the LA Kings didn't have was depth. That's one thing that I always thought they had going for them.
Goal scoring, skill.
Pierre-Luc Dubois gets paid like what, $10, $11 million to go get a cardio workout every night. I know. Adrian Kempe was the only guy that did anything for them. I do agree with you. Vancouver will throw a lot more at Edmonton than LA did the whole entire series. That's for sure.
Skinner will be under much more duress. That's point blank. That is true.
Line,
he's going to have to. Yeah, he's going to. Yeah.
Couple points. Saros is 100
times better than Rittich
or Talbot. No, they don't. Edmonton wants to turn this into a track meet. Vancouver wants to play depth hockey. The bottom line is this.
No, it's going to be a physical series.
Oh, big time. Like this Carolina Rangers series are killing each other. I'm going to say this quickly. I know we're going to break. I'm telling you, Gabe, the thing about Vancouver is they're one of these teams that, to McKinnis' point, they're deep. They can battle. These games are going to be all tight. Edmonton's not blowing these guys out. They're going to be razor thin.
We're dropping a puck right now. We have got Ryan Whitney's really running his mouth, too, about this.
Yeah.
I just don't want to play for clicks. I want to be involved with a great leading program that's going to develop players. Him leaving Colorado, a shot across the bow at Dion. I don't think Dion cares.
We saw Logan Diggs move on from LSU to Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin. Don't be shocked if you see John Emery potentially maybe at another school, maybe like a Miss State or even maybe like a Texas A&M.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
The only one that can punch him in the nose, in my opinion, is the Knicks or those Western teams. What did you think when you saw those odds?
In their path, and it's all about the path, right? Number 1 seed, you should have an easy path, but quite honestly, looking at who they'd have to go through here eventually is kind of laughable. So I get it.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not 1, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
SportsRage late
sort
night.
of has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. Man, things are getting a little, the stakes are raising. We're 24 hours away from this game, this series. Ryan Whitney went on like a diatribe this morning on Twitter, a video about how he despises the Vancouver Canucks. He hates the city of Vancouver. He hates their fans, and the Oilers are going to kill them. There's a lot of, and Vancouver are aware of this too. So I talked last night and I said kiddingly, I said, well, if there's any coach that knows what the line is going to be, it's going to be Rick Tocchet. Yeah. And the Canucks are all too aware of the line. They are very aware. As the media, everybody asks everything now, especially with betting being legal. Rick Tocchet was asked about being such prohibitive underdogs and was told the series price.
Yes, amazing.
Rick Tocchet says, I love being doubted. At the start of the year, if you asked, is Vancouver going to make the playoffs? A lot of people said no. So we were underdogs there. As the season went on, they said, oh, we're going to fall off. Now the same thing. People said the Preds were going to beat us. That's where he's kind of not true. You were minus 150 favorites, Rick.
Yeah.
People said the Preds were going to beat us. I just kind of think that we like that underdog role, and I think the players should embrace it too. I really do. See, they know. They know.
I like it.
Yeah. That's, like I said, bulletin board material. I'd put it up, just like I said last night, Kim. Minus 270. That's all I say on the bulletin board in the room.
That's the best.
They'd walk in. What's that, Coach? I'd say that's what the number is in this series.
So, Coach, you're telling me,
I'm dead
Coach,
serious. I'm a good motivator, because that's all I'd say. There's no hockey stuff. Just 270. I wouldn't do it before the game. I'd do it in practice, like today type thing, like the day before.
Yeah.
Minus 270. I'd put everywhere, Cam. I tell the Stooges, put tape all over the boards in practice. Minus 270 all around the ice.
That? It goes.
Just feed it.
Coach,
feed it.
What does this mean? Well, it means this. You got to bet 27,000 euro to win 10,000 euro.
Yeah, I said, you can't explain it $100 to them. It's too low. So you got to bet 270 to win 100. They'll be like, yeah, so what? You can be like, listen, you got to bet 270,000 to win 100,000. Right? And they'd be, okay, I get that. Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Talk their language. You got to talk their language a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the best.
You tell them $100, it won't resonate. You got to put it in a context they can. These guys saying you got to bet $270,000 to win against us, like you exaggerate it.
Yeah.
But
Gabe, have you?
The other players are getting frustrated about getting asked about this, though. I'm glad you brought that up, because what the low is the Vancouver Canucks. There's no one on the list. What's the show? The look at the MVP odds, Cam Smythe for the playoffs. I looked at it. I think what is it, like Brock Besser's 50 to 1?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, so
he's the shortest price.
That's
JT Miller 50 to 1. Yeah, he's
Seelovs is 100 to 1. I know.
That's the play.
But here's the thing, guys. Look at this.
Goes out and he steals games, Gabe. They give it to the goalie a lot. That's a crazy number, actually. You got me thinking.
I mean, you guys, you hear people talk about building their portfolio, right? With the NFL Super Bowl MVP, with the NBA, the MVP and things like that. But the Conn Smythe Trophy is one of the most underrated ways to build your portfolio late. It's like if you didn't get a piece of a certain team and you don't want to tie up your money early in the season, like if you didn't bet Colorado, guys, pretend the score for right now is not taking place. If you didn't bet Colorado before the season, okay, you can get currently, and probably even a better price tomorrow morning, 13 to 1 on the Colorado Avalanche for Nathan McKinnon to win the Conn Smythe Trophy. And I was doing a video about this earlier. Do you guys remember when Steph Curry won the NBA championship with the Warriors and Andre Iguodala won the MVP? And then it was Kevin Durant. Well, guess what? The last time the Avalanche won, Cale Makar won the Conn Smythe Trophy. You're going to give me right now a price for the Colorado Avalanche to win the Stanley Cup, at like what, 450 before they lose tonight's game, and you're going to give me 13 to 1 on their best player. And you take a look at Boston right now, Jeremy Swayman plus 1,200, right? If they win the Stanley Cup, he is winning. And guys, you know what the current number is on the Bruins to win the Cup? It's not nearly that. It's 7 to 1 odds. Yeah, so you're going to take Swayman, and to me, it's just the best way to look at it. But if you look at the market, if you're reading the market right now, they're telling you that Gabe, if you should be mad at anybody, you should be mad at the sports books, because right now they are they think the Oilers have the clearest
I thank
path.
them. I'm not mad at them. I thank them.
Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of, McInnes? And in very similar fashion, except Vancouver are better than Montreal were. Remember, it was laughable. The Vegas Golden Knights were minus 500 favorites against the Canadians, remember? It was the largest conference finals odds in like 35 years. I think the Oilers might have been, the Oilers were bigger favorites once against the Blackhawks or something in the 80s. And what happened? The Canadians won in what, 5? Like they didn't even go 6. Like they won in 5. Like you guys talk about hockey odds being off. I think they're off. The public is all over. And I don't think the odds makers think that it's a rout. And all you need to know, you want to get into math here. I talked about it last night. All the time, Andrew, if you look at what a series price is, it'll generally be the same thing as what the game one price is. It'll correlate all the time. The Edmonton Oilers are minus 280 series favorites right now, but the game is basically a pick 'em in game one. So, so what? Vancouver's going to win their games at home, and they should be underdogs. Like the math, their number doesn't really add up. I think the Vancouver Canucks plus 1.5 is a good look. Plus 2.5 series games is a good look. They match up. It's going to be an extremely like one thing about Vancouver people don't realize is they were ranked 5th in the NHL this year in hits. They're a more physical team than people realize, and they've raised it up a notch in the playoffs. Like, yeah, Nashville hit them, dude. They smoked like a couple of dudes on the Predators, like with bad intentions. Like the Canucks, like they're finishing checks. BX had talked about it the other day. He said there's some guys and there's a difference between making contact and other guys that are trying to put you through the wall, right? And this is what like guys are doing now.
I just don't want to play for clicks. I want to be involved with a great leading program that's going to develop players. Him leaving Colorado, a shot across the bow at Dion. I don't think Dion cares.
We saw Logan Diggs move on from LSU to Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin. Don't be shocked if you see John Emery potentially maybe at another school, maybe like a Miss State or even maybe like a Texas A&M.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
The only one that can punch him in the nose, in my opinion, is the Knicks or those Western teams. What did you think when you saw those odds?
In their path, and it's all about the path, right? Number 1 seed, you should have an easy path, but quite honestly, looking at who they'd have to go through here eventually is kind of laughable. So I get it.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not 1, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
SportsRage late
sort of
night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
I think McKinnis really is on to something here, though, with his Conn Smythe Trophy props, just because the numbers are so good for everybody. Like, if you like the Edmonton Oilers, look, Connor McDavid is plus 600. Wyatt Johnson of the Stars is plus 1,400. Swayman is plus 1,400. Ottinger is plus 1,400. Nate McKinnon is plus 1,600. Matthew Tkachuk is plus 1,700. Leon Draisaitl is plus 1,800. I personally think Shesterkin would be a good bet. he is the Rangers. Even though there's other guys that are playing well, they're a collective team, but they win because of him. And 19-1 is a very good bet. You get it's a good hedge situation to be in. And we're in double overtime now in this Ranger game, still going on. Cale Makar is 21-1, but once again, the Vancouver Canucks, because the book doesn't think they're going to advance. So if you like the Canucks to make it to the Stanley Cup, you could really get some big numbers right now on their players. JT Miller is 60-1. Quinn Hughes is 45-1. Brock Besser is 85-1. Seelovs is 90-1 right now in a book I'm looking at.
Wow.
Thatcher Demko won't be back for this series either. Yeah. Like they're talking about, he'd be back for game 5 or 6, but they wouldn't take out Seelovs at that point.
No. Mm-hmm. How often are defensive players in the NFL Super Bowl MVP? Do you guys know?
The last one was with the Seahawks. Wasn't it?
Okay.
It happens like every
blue moon. Yeah.
Like every 4 or 5 years type of deal. Von Miller, Larry Brown. Yeah.
Goalies don't win it, guys. Marchessault, Makar, Vasilevsky, right? So that's one. Hedman, O'Reilly, Ovechkin, Crosby, Keith, Williams, Kane, then Keith.
Who won? Hold on. Who won when so who were they, like you said too, the goalies?
So Vasilevsky, Jonathan Quick, and Tim Thomas are the most recent goaltenders. So it's like one in every 4 years, it seems like.
Yeah, you know what, though? If this is hypothetical, but if the Canucks went on a run and it was this kid, he would win, right? If they actually pulled off the cup. The only thing is, Demko will be back, right? He's close to being back now. Like, he's not all that far off, but they're just not in a rush right now because they're riding the hot hand with the kid. Mm. So your final prediction, McInnes, is Oilers in 6, you say?
Oilers in 6. And I think tomorrow is going to be an over. I think
over in game 1.
The irony is I think that a very similar thing could happen to what happened to the Florida Panthers. And I think Vancouver potentially could win game 1. I really do. But I like the over that much more. You know, guys, I think part of this business, you have to admit when you're wrong, when you kind of create a theory. And I think right now, for me, I thought that we were going to see low-scoring games to start series, and towards the end, we'd see high-scoring. And what I've noticed right now is, especially when these series change from round 1 to round 2, the teams don't know each other. And when the teams don't know each other, it's a lot more pond hockey and open ice. Even though kind of smack talk leads to physical play, which leads to power plays, it seems to me that later on in these series right now, once you get past the 2 games at home for each team, the final 3 games of the series, what do we see in Vegas? What do we see in Boston, Toronto? 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. I mean, that series went to 7 games, guys, and Toronto only scored more than 2 goals once. That tells you all you have to know about the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. If you look at the scores of the Edmonton and Vancouver, they played April 13th. I was right off the top of my head, even with the date. 3-1 final score in that game. The Vancouver beat them 6-2 earlier in the year, 4-3 earlier in the year, and 8-1 in the season opener. So they did play higher scoring games, but I will say the Vancouver Canucks do not want to get into a track meet. Like, they're going to be the ones that are going to be playing very, you know what I mean? They're going to be crushing the Oilers every time they get a chance to. They play physical against Edmonton. That's been their strategy. So you like the over, though. I see an even 6 in this game, McInnes, right now.
And I know that you take a look at the first 2 games for Carolina and New York. We can say this, what I'm about to say might not be as true, but I have noticed throughout the playoffs, the 5.5s are going under, the 6s and 6.5s are going over. And guys, on top of the Conn Smythe, another thing to look out for the listeners, power play points. Edmonton and Vancouver, but especially Edmonton, they're going to make their money on the power play. If you like a guy like Hyman to get a point in the game, he's plus 160 for a power play point. If you like Bouchard, he's plus 120 for a power play point.
Andrew McInnes, Wager Talk. Great stuff, McInnes. Go Canucks.